Softer men don't build hard bodies. And that's the truth. And if you don't like it, then I'm sorry, but that's a reality that you've got to wrap your head around. And if it offends you or triggers you in any way, then it probably applies to you. Now, here's the reality. You can either be soft or you can be jacked. And there are two very distinctive mindsets that apply to each of those different character types. There's two different avatars. But the reality is you can't be a soft guy and expect to build a rock hard, jacked physique. The two just don't marry because the body really does reflect what the internal mindset has built. A soft mind will not build a strong, hard body. And we've got to think about, what are the defining traits of a soft person and what are the defining traits of someone who has got an epic, strong, solid physique. And you'll very quickly be able to notice there are some distinct differences. The soft guy can't even keep promises to himself. He says he's going to start on Monday. Monday comes around, and then before you know it, he's bottled it. It's gone. Started snacking, skipped the gym, went to bed late, didn't drink enough water, and before you know it, he's saying again, next Monday. So he makes promises that he can't keep. The soft guy hates discomfort. He'll always find ways to look for the easy road. He'll always make excuses for himself. He hates the idea of putting himself in uncomfortable situations. He avoids discomfort at all costs. It's always about taking the easy road. And the moment things do start to get tough, he's very quick to bail. A really good example is the guy who starts training and then picks up a small injury or strain, a muscle strain, and that justifies him taking the entire week off. And the week off becomes the month off, and then he's having to start all over again. And the reality is the soft guy just doesn't follow through. He hates discomfort. He looks for ease. He has no resilience. He has no grit. He has no determination. He's weak. His mindset is weak. He crumbles. And it's reflected in his physique. The soft guy has a soft physique, and his physique is just purely a out-and-out reflection of where his mindset is. He avoids discomfort at every cost. Now, if we compare that to the guy who builds a rock-solid, jacked physique, you can't build an awesome physique without resilience. That ability, that strong ability to lean into tough times, to lean into discomfort. And it requires you to keep your promises and to be consistent. It relies on you to do the work regardless of how you feel. So whether you're motivated or not, the job gets done. Guys who build awesome physiques have discipline, and they recognize the role of self-agency. They understand the fact that if you want a goal, you have to show grit, determination, tenacity, and you have to do everything in your power to take control of the outcomes that you want. And so you can see there are distinctive differences in the mindset between the strong, jacked, ripped, muscular dude and the soft guy. The jacked dude does not take no for an answer, and he decides his own fate. He puts his flag in the ground and says, I want to build this thing, and does everything in his power to do so. He assumes power. He takes hold of the steering wheel. And so you can see again, there are just two completely wildly different mindsets, and the two can't coexist. You cannot get a guy with a soft mindset to build a jacked physique. You will not find a jacked dude with a rock solid physique who has a soft mindset. And so actually, when you think about it deeply, it goes way beyond just building a physique. If you have the mental capacity, the ability to build an awesome physique, these character traits, they permeate everything else you do. If you have the ability to lean into hard times, if you have the ability to keep your promises to yourself, regardless of how the thing makes you feel in the moment, if you have the ability to be consistent, to always be disciplined, think how impactful that can be on the world, on the life that you create for yourself. And moreover, think about how impactful that is on the way that people perceive you. Because it may not always be a conscious judgment, although I promise you, there are several strong people out there who are well aware, highly cognizant of when they're interacting with a fellow strong-minded person, or if they're communicating with someone who's going to be soft, who's going to be weak, who's incapable of keeping their word, who folds under pressure. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, which camp am I? I can be very brutally honest with you and say you're probably a soft man. And just understand that men who have taken control of their mindsets, who have built great physiques, they feel that sense of lack. Whether you're aware of it or not, it's very, very difficult unless you're an incredibly forgiving type, someone who really does fill the gaps for other people. People who have got their shit together in this domain will be hyper aware that you do not. And so why am I telling you this? I'm telling you because not only will it have a big impact on the world you create, but it has a huge impact on how the world perceives you. Personally, when I see a guy in phenomenal shape, I see these character traits. I see discipline. I see this guy can endure some hard times, that he can be consistent, that he can lean into discomfort, that he can offset gratification, that he can always get the job done regardless of how he feels, that he doesn't rely on motivation, but he keeps his word to himself. And equally, when I see the soft guy, it's not my immediate thought, but it starts to show in other areas that this person can't even keep their own word. They can't even put energy, time, investment into their own health, their own fitness, their own strength, their own character development. Then that says quite a lot about that individual. So getting jacked, building an awesome physique, supersedes this whole ideology of just pursuing a vanity project. It's a tremendous tool. It's a vehicle towards building character traits that will permeate everything that you do. They will help you transcend towards becoming the man that you really want to become. Someone who is strong. It's not just about having a strong physique. It's about becoming a man of strength. And believe it or not, in the real world setting, outside the scope of social media, outside the scope of Instagram conversations and YouTube and all the rest of it, strength is still honored between men. It's still a valuable asset. And although social media makes it possible for weak, soft men to hide behind their shortfalls, it's very evident to those who are putting in the work. It's very evident in the behaviors, in the snidey comments, in the hateful comments. It's very, very obvious in people's desire to pick flaws in people, that these are people who have remained soft and are doing nothing about it. So, if this speaks to you, if you're questioning, well, who am I and who do I want to be, then it's time for a change. And you can decide, and that's the beauty of this. By no means is this a means of saying, you're soft, and that's an eternal fate that you have to suffer. No, you should understand that 99.99999%, I want to say all, there's probably the exception out there, but 99.999% of men who have reached this state of strength in their physicality and strength in their mindset have done the work. They didn't start like this. Trust me, I definitely didn't start like this. It's been nurtured over the years through sport, through building a physique, through having a lifestyle which forces me to retain a high level of discipline, to be highly goal focused, and to really look within, identify my shortfalls, and do the work. But the beauty of this is, it's a highly plastic trait. It's not permanent. It can be changed. You can evolve. You can transcend. And so simply by choosing to commit 100% to a fitness goal, you can go from being a soft man, proverbially and literally, to becoming a tough, hard, strong man who is physically capable, who is mentally indestructible. And these are the men that can feel more fulfillment because they're able to actually go after the goals that are going to be worth them going after, that are going to require work, that are going to require them to really push boundaries of discomfort, their boundaries of resilience, and to achieve something meaningful. And when a man achieves something meaningful, when he has a pursuit, when he has a purpose, this is how he not only feels happiness in the moment, but he feels fulfillment because he knows he's working towards his best self. And when a man feels fulfilled and happy, he's able to give. And so ultimately, the pinnacle of fulfillment comes when you reach that point where you have filled your own cup and you are able to contribute and give to others. And this is why it's so important. This is why I believe so strongly that the pursuit of building an awesome physique coincides and should definitely be magnified as well, the secondary element, but you should work on both. Aim to become a physical phenom. I'm talking mind-blowingly, second take, holy cow, look at the size of that dude, look at his condition, look how strong he is, look how fit he is, whatever your metric for physicality is. Doesn't mean just being a bodybuilder, okay? It could be anything. It could be a triathlete or an Ironman, or it could be an endurance athlete or a cyclist or a martial artist or whatever. Become masterful, okay, in your physicality, whatever your chosen discipline, and become masterful in your ability to test and build your resilience, your discipline, your ability to take leadership of your life. Become masterful in those two areas, and you'll reach a point of fulfillment that you have never, ever perceived possible before. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you drop it a like. Make sure you give me a follow. You're going to find lots of strength training, physique development, mindset work, all of these sorts of content areas on my page. I'm literally on this planet to help men become as physically and mentally phenomenal as possible. That is my purpose. That is my mission. And you can follow my journey here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and we will see you in the next video.